1370, and we are in studio. And joining me in studio right now is it's a fascinating story. I want to go back to a time in my life, Mike, that was very important to me, and that was my early stages in my career when I worked at Hansjörg, and a young, good-looking fella came in and started working as a barback. That guy's name was Kowalski, and he's joining me in the studio right now. How are you, Rob?
I'm doing great, Mickey. Thanks for having me.
Of course, buddy. Now, Rob, when you were, what, 19, 20?
Yeah.
Probably supposed to do it?
That's exactly right. I was 19 when I started working at Hansjörg.
He was a great-looking guy, great shape. Women loved him. And then Rob had a crazy run for a while. I don't want to get into all the debauchery. You didn't live a saint's life for a long time.
No, absolutely not.
And I don't want to get too far down, but
We can go there if you want. I don't mind.
How bad did it get for you at one point?
I mean, I'm a pretty carnal person. I actually made a video about that the other day. I pretty much liked everything that was wrong. Casual sex, drinking, drugs, nightlife, staying up late, just all the wrong things. It really just felt natural to me. So I was good at it. I made a career of it. I was pretty much, I was the busiest stripper in Baltimore for a long time.
You became a male stripper. Yeah, he's telling me that. Yeah.
And then I
How does a man live, Mike? God, the debauchery.
Depths of despair.
No, but you know what? Sadly, I've heard females say this as well, Rob. That takes its toll on you emotionally.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it ruined real relationships for you.
Yeah.
It got into your head that there was no substance to life.
Yeah. Where's your soul then, for sure?
Yeah, and then one day you had I don't want to say bottomed out, but you had a revelation. Is that a fair word?
A moment of clarity.
Honestly, it was just it wasn't down at bottom out because I was actually I was doing pretty good at it. Yeah. So I had never, for me, I never thought about God. He very rarely would he cross my mind.
Yeah.
But when I was 27 years old, he called me. And I don't know how else to describe it except for that. I just became really aware of his presence, and he asked me to trust him and follow him, which I started doing. And I went from being the biggest man whore I knew at 27 to being abstinent for the next 6 years, leading Bible studies, and just really, the biggest 180 a person could possibly do. Overnight, and dropped, never stripped again, never promoted a party again, broke up with my girlfriend, was abstinent, just.
Were you into the drug scene at all?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Mike.
Are you completely sober now, or are you just kind of?
Yeah. So what happened was, this was when I was 27. So I went through this phase for 6 years where I was just kind of, trying to be a good Christian boy, for lack of a better term. And I couldn't find a group of people to plug in with. Like, I had this really active social life prior to that. And then I went to having nothing to do on the weekends and found out, Christians are pretty lame, right? Like, they don't.
Hey, guys, let's all go to the park and pray.
Right, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
No, of course there is. But when you come from basically touring like the Rolling Stones in 1969 or 71, and then all of a sudden it's a much more pure, much more healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Mike, you've been sober how long now?
14 years.
Yeah.
Right, so you can relate. So I basically was looking for a group to plug in with, and I couldn't find them. Couldn't relate to church people. They were kind of weird to me.
Right.
Couldn't hang out with my old friends anymore because they were making the same decisions I was making, and I knew that I'd go right.
Fall back.
Exactly. So I just went to the movies and stayed in a lot, and I was really waiting,
You should have called me, dude. I'm serious. Like, Mike, have you ever seen me drunk?
No.
I don't do drugs. I used to smoke pot for a long time, but
Right.
that was it.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know when I used to be out with my friends and they'd all get hammered, I'd be miserable. I'm like, this isn't even fun.
Right.
You guys are hitting on a girl that's, first of all, already told all you guys to go away twice.
Right.
Like, what is wrong with you? So I get that part of your life. But then you finally decided, okay, instead of me searching, I'm going to have my own fun.
Right.
That I feel good about and healthy about, and you did what?
Well, just sidebar. I went back into the nightlife scene from 2006 to 2011 because I thought that I could make a difference from the inside. Like
Sure.
I could promote.
Save souls.
I could do what I'm doing now.
Right.
I could promote. You know, there doesn't have to be a separation between fun and boring.
And debauchery.
Right.
I totally agree with you.
So I got a little too close to the edge, a lot too close. Got sucked into it all, and basically
Fell back in.
fell back in.
Oh, wow, so you relapsed into that world?
Yeah, totally. And then 2011, I kind of rededicated, and I went through the same thing: loneliness. Rented every movie in Redbox for about 6 months, and then most people get into relationships. Is the funny thing that I've noticed when this happens, and for me, I was determined not to do that because that just presents more problems down the road. Which when you date out of loneliness.
Right, you gotta get yourself together first.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Christ. I'm gonna get this together.
So I started this group called City Fam, which is basically like, hey,
He said fam,
yes,
not fam.
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 Okay.
I cannot hear the difference.
Yeah, I don't really hear the difference.
You do,
Fa-
don't you?
fam, not fam.
Right.
Yeah.
Not damn.
Fam. You're saying
Not
fam.
What is it? It's not like a flowing, syllabic thing. It's fam. Like a window
Versus-
fan, right?
Uh-huh.
Some people would say family.
Yes.
Not family.
Fam.
Damn and jam.
Fam.
Get it. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Rob.
That's okay. So I started this group called City Fam, and it was basically like, look, for really just selfish purposes, just to give myself something to do on the weekends. I was wanting to scratch the itch of I didn't want to go to the bars necessarily. What the funny thing is now, a lot of City Fam events are in bars, but when I'm with a group of people that are headed in the same direction as me, I can be in a bar. But when I'm the one guy going one way and everybody's going the opposite way, then it sucks.
You know what's weird? This sounds like a lot of fun for me.
Right.
Because now, if I'm with your group and I decide I'm going to have one beer,
Oh, dude, yeah.
am I out of the group?
Hell no, no.
Okay, that's my
No,
question.
I'd say only about 25% of the group is sober. The rest of them, some of them can drink in moderation. Some of them are figuring out that they can't drink in moderation. But so they're at all stages. The thing I like about City Fam is like, if you look at a group like let's say AA, which is obviously all about sobriety, the only time someone will go to AA is after they've made a complete mess of their life. So our thing is like, look, there's a lot of people that haven't hit bottom yet.
Yeah.
Let's just meet them and say, look, if you hang out with us, you won't want that stuff because you'll have community. You'll have real friends that give a
You're fine.
about you. Can I say shit?
No, you can't.
Sorry.
You didn't say it the first time. That's why I said. Don't worry, I caught it. Go ahead.
So,
Recap, because I dumb. So you're saying you don't want to hang out with people that make you.
yeah, that don't care about you.
Right.
So if you have friends that really care about you and your best interest, like then you don't feel the need to escape through sex and drugs and alcohol. Now, not to say if you want to drink in moderation, that's great, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
For much of my life, I think it was just I didn't have those kind of friendships, and
Sure.
so that's what we've done a good job of
Do
creating.
you notice that people that are still trying to figure it out get angry at those who might say something to them?
Of course. I mean,
And is that just part of the process for someone trying to get better?
you mean sober specifically, or
Not
just
sober, just realizing maybe this isn't the best lifestyle, or this
Right.
isn't the best way for me.
yeah. I definitely get a lot of negative feedback just because I was running the scene, and then all of a
They
sudden,
look at you like, oh, what are you, Mr. Perfect? now?"
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So I get
In
a
fact,
lot
you
of.
are, though, in a sense.
Well, I'm not, but I'm just. I'm the first. I mean, and maybe that's I'm the first one to come out and say, hey, look, if I can do it, I mean, of all people, then anyone can make changes.
I will say this about you. You were a professional
Yeah,
partier.
absolutely.
I mean, you could have had a reality show. I'm not being funny. Like, you were sex, drugs, rock and roll club like 7 nights a week.
100%.
Yeah, and you had the hottest, most smoking girls on the planet around you all the time.
Well, thank you.
But at the end, no fulfillment, was it?
It's empty. I mean, the thing about that is it's only fun while you're doing it.
Right.
And the thing is it's not as fun the next time you do it, so you have to do a little bit more.
Right.
And then when you stop doing it and you look in the mirror, you don't like yourself. You feel empty. You start having negative thoughts about yourself, or maybe people have negative thoughts about you. And it's this diminishing returns, and it'll just spiral. You can just ride it to the bottom.
Well, I'll tell you what you're doing now is amazing. I'm going to play a song. We'll come back. You'll tell us about a great event you have coming up, how people can help you, good?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
Can you guys hear this?
What's that, bud?
Oh, I was talking to Facebook Live.
They probably can't hear me and Mike.
Oh, okay.
You know we're not in Bel Air. So we're going to two, but we're in Pikesville, right? Thank you, Carrie. So good to see you. Hey, Mark. You can tell Uncle Mark anytime.
What's up, Meebo?
Hi, Christy. I'll be right back, everybody. 1 minute. We got a minute, guys.
Okay.
That's impressive that you could get sober, like, under those circumstances, like, people celebrating it and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't easy by
For
any
me,
stretch.
it's like, I'm such a fucking loser. Like, there's no, like...
Dude, it's like white knuckling it.
Uh-huh.
It's like you gotta white. Oh, I mean, I couldn't have done it without a group of people like I have with City Fam because it's just you get lonely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
and you get bored.
Yeah, I really didn't have much. Like, I got sober well before I started doing comedy or anything, which was, like, probably good so that I, like, wasn't around all that. But, like, yeah, I was, like, the loneliest person in the world for a long time.
Right. It's really bad.
But I think eventually I was able to turn it into something positive because it, like, really kind of, like, made me be comfortable with myself, you know? Like, and I learned, like, a whole lot about myself in those early days. Like, once I started trying to do positive things.
Right. I mean, it definitely was good for me. It sucked to go through it, but I mean, and honestly, it would have been a hell of a lot easier if I wasn't a Christian because then I could have just called girls, right? I could have had girls over, and they would have been my escape. They would have been my drug.
Yeah.
But I was like determined not to even do that. Right. So I'm like, so I just stayed home, and like I couldn't even spend time alone with women because I'm like, if I do, I know I'm gonna end up hooking up with them. So I just would stay home by myself, and I'm like, man, there's got to be a better way.
It's here? Yeah, it's in my mind. I'll plug that for 10 seconds. Yeah.
Can y'all hear Mickey?
So we're on the air now again. Sorry about that, guys. No, here, check this out. My big boss is in here right now, Mark. And see, Mark, how we're sitting here. If you look at the laptop, I'm explaining Facebook Live to him. He knew what it was, but like how we're set up in here. He's been away for 2 weeks. Came back and heard how amazing we've been doing with it. Someone like that, right? If they want to spend huge money. But anyway, so this is it. This is what people watch. And in case you're with us, been with us right now, joined by Rob Kowalski, City Fam, a wonderful charity organization that has a great event coming up. And I was really happy to see that your event helps Harvard House.
Yeah.
I helped them recently, not helped them, but did some stuff with them. What a great organization. When I found out what they did, I mean, they basically, Mike, they take families that are homeless and they give them a house for a year. Wow. Am I right, Rob?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And it really allows families, or a lot of times it's single moms and kids, a chance to start over.
Right.
I mean, imagine you have a house for a year for free.
Wow.
Where you can save money and get yourself together. The work Harvard House has done up there, it blows me away.
Great. So
what is the big event you have coming up, Rob?
This is actually the first time that we volunteer with them. So, like, the thing for us with City Fam was, so just to kind of give you a real quick background. So we're all about fun without regret. So we're like, we want to have a good time and push the envelope, see how much fun we can have without doing something we'll feel guilty about later. And what we do is we use our social events to raise a little money for a local charity. We give a percentage of the social event to a charity, but we recruit the people that are at the social event to actually go out and volunteer. Because what happened was when I started turning my life around, I was volunteering through my church, and I was starting to like myself again, right? Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is cool. I know that I got friends that would like to feel this way that aren't religious. Yeah. So let's go ahead and find some ways for people to get involved in volunteering, because a lot of times with volunteering, it's like, how do you do it? You know, a lot of people have wanted to volunteer.
A lot of people want to, and
yeah.
they don't even know how to get started.
That's exactly it.
It usually takes some big, huge event. I remember, I guess it was a year ago, they built Angel Park down in Perry Hall. Mm-hmm. And Shannon, you know Shannon.
Yeah.
She volunteered for that. And, I mean, she was like on cloud 9
right.
doing that, you know, and it's like, it's inspiring for yourself, you know, to feel amazing. You know, through the radio stations for years, I've been to so many charity and volunteer events, and it's always like, when you're in the moment, you're like, I want to do this every day.
Yeah. Right.
And then, of course, life gets in the way, and you need a charity.
You need to make a car payment.
You need to make a car payment. So City Fam, you'll go and you'll show people how to volunteer, what they're helping, and what it does for them spiritually as well. Not religiously, but spiritually.
Yeah, so we got a social event tomorrow at Tiki Bar at Bo Brooks in Canton. So we'll have 100 people out there.
Wait a minute, a Tiki Bar at Bo Brooks in Canton. Wow. And it's a charity event. Hey, Mike, you feeling as gracious as I am?
And you know, it is. We try to make serving sexy. You know, the girls. There's pretty girls in City Fam, and it's about, you know, it's like, it's not Bible study dorks or whatever. We hang out in bars, people drink.
You know. Let's be honest. I mean, even when it does come to Bible study in church, you know, we have a tendency as satire. As, you know, we want to make fun and mock everything, and that's like an easy target. But I envy those guys sometimes.
They do a lot of
Bible people. I mean, people that live their life by the code are usually good people.
It's true.
And you know, it's like when you go in and you make fun of the kid behind the McDonald's counter because he's so astute and like into his job, and you think to yourself later as a grown man, well, if I owned a company, I'd love to have 50 of those kids.
Right.
You know, but so you guys, you'll go and you'll do these things, and I mean, tell me a success story other than yourself. Have you been able to recruit somebody? And
dozens, yes.
Really, that's the beautiful part.
So we got a ladder, which, you know, that we've kind of developed, where it's like, the way I look at it, like
your step system.
I look at most self-help groups, and that's kind of what we are, I guess. You know, on some level, but a lot of
like a self-help support group.
Yeah,
you offer support as well.
And it's a lifestyle. It's fun too. It's not just like, so like I said, with AA or, you know, church or any really self-help organization, they're kind of like up on the third rung of the ladder to me, where they're like inviting people to come to them, and it's just a big step for people to take. So we're all like let's put a couple other steps. So we put a much lower step in there, which is the social event. Yeah. Everybody likes to go socialize, go to amusement park, see a concert, whatever. Right. And then when they get around everybody, like, they see that we're normal, and then we're like, wow, you guys are just kind of headed in a different direction. Right. Then we're like, we're going to go volunteer at Harford House in 2 weeks. Would you like to come? And they're like, yeah, I've always wanted to do something like that. I just didn't know how to get started. They take another step. By the time they get up to the second rung of the ladder, they're like starting to feel different about themselves. Now they got some friends that are making different decisions instead of getting hammered in the bars and hooking up. And then they start making better decisions themselves. They invite their friends. And
is City Fam against volunteering and hooking up, or is it just
no?
Hammered?
Well, I'm all this.
No, I'm kidding, bro.
I'm pro community. This is what I say. Right. I'm not against anything, but if it's anti-community, I'm against it. Because your life will get better. The more people you have in your life, the better your life will get. So if you know, sex without love is anti-community, period. If you hook up with a girl, you know, I don't care how honest you are. I've done it. And you can say, look, I'm not looking for anything. I've been hurt. I'm just coming out of a relationship. Whatever you say. Yeah. If you hook up with a girl and then you decide to not hook up with her anymore and maybe go hook up with another girl, that girl is gone. She is not your friend anymore. You are an a-hole, and it doesn't matter that you were honest. So it's anti-community. You just traded a long-term friend for a short-term sex partner. So I'm all about, like, hey, look, have all, you know, if you're in love, have all the sex. But if you're not in love, you know, maybe pump the brakes, because you might want that person as a friend.
Absolutely. I love that. All right, stick around, Rob. I'm going to let you stay a little longer than
Sure.
we talk because I'm enjoying this. Got to do some business, play a little music. We'll be back with Rob Kowalski, City fan, and we'll learn about how you can be part of their fundraiser or helping their charity event on July 22nd, correct?
Mhm.
And with the Hartford House. And we'll do all that right after this.
Since 1982, Ritchie Automotive has been providing comprehensive auto, truck,
So that's the next volunteering event.
Yeah.
And what will that be like?
We've never been there before, so
Just kind of whatever they need.
yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
I'll tell you what's probably going to be. They have a basement in this huge apartment complex that is just chock full of donations.
Really?
And I think 5 to 10 times a year they have to actually log it all,
Right.
organize it, anything like that. So that may be it, but I don't know.
Right.
The things they do are just. I mean, when I met the I don't think she runs it anymore. The lady that used to run it, and that now they are a faith-based.
Are they?
Yeah, they're
I
a
didn't know that.
faith-based group, but they're very very. It's just it's an amazing organization.
Yeah, I'd
it really
help out
is.
any, like, I don't care if they're church related. Or
Yeah, I'll go to that. My kids will
it's a
go to
good-
As long
that.
as you're not
too.
knocking on doors,
Right. Well, yeah, I wouldn't do anything that made me uncomfortable.
proselytizing.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
definitely.
As long as it's relieving human suffering, that's the way I look at it.
Dude, I had a job for 2 weeks that entailed knocking on people's doors. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I will never do it again. There's no worse anxiety than like bothering somebody at their house and trying to get money from them.
That's awesome.
Give me 1 sec here, guys. Let me set up. I'm going to play these commercials, then 2 songs, and then us. So let me find a song to come out of that, and we will do.
But yeah, I'd like to make it out to one of these.
Yeah. Are you in the Harford County area?
No, in
So
Baltimore.
we have 4 actually service projects going on that day. We have our daily bread. We're going to be feeding the homeless lunch, I think, and then we have movable feast. So they're like people below the poverty line with AIDS, so we'll be making meals for them. And then Johns Hopkins Children's Center.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically,
What do you
like,
do at the Children's Center?
last time
Just let you guys know we have 13 minutes.
Okay.
Then we're back on. I got to go talk to my boss real quick.
Sure.
But we'll be back.
Okay. Last time we just shoot, I don't want to flip that around. Last time we just cleaned up their place. So they invited us back. So yeah, we'll probably have about 50 people out total.
Yeah, I want to do more work with elderly people. Like, I just discovered that I'm actually decent with elderly people. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if we've done any nursing homes. I don't know that we have yet. And we've been at probably 25 or 30 nonprofits in Maryland, served that in the last 2 years.
So is that kind of your theme, to just do like different ones instead of
Yeah.
like just choosing one?
Well, we'll go back as we've grown. Like our numbers have grown. Like we had 80 people at the Special Olympics last month. So as our numbers have grown, we'll choose more because it's usually about 10 people at each spot, and then we'll have an after party and bring everybody together to have lunch.
Nice.
And then this way they can meet each other, share stories, and really for us it's just about building community because that's where the positive change happens. When you have healthy relationships, that was when we first started it. The reason that we started City Fam was we said positive change happens in the context of healthy relationships. Like if you hang around crappy people, you're going to become a shitty person. If you hang around good people, you're going to pick up their habits. You're going to become a better version of yourself. So we're like, that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
But
Maybe Mickey could do like a fundraiser for you or
Dude.
something, like a fundraiser show.
that would be awesome. Yeah.
We just did one last month for his depression group. We did like a Chris Cornell tribute show. Yeah, I'm sure we'd love to do that.
Comedy or
This one was a weird kind of variety show. Like my friend, we already had it planned, and then we decided to kind of morph it into a Chris Cornell tribute. So my friend's jazz band opened, and then we had a couple comedians, and they kind of focused on depression. And we had Mickey, he kind of headlined and did his stories about meeting Chris Cornell, and then also about his own struggles with depression.
Sure.
And then and then at the end we had like a 2-hour concert with different people coming in and off doing Chris Cornell songs.
Nice. Where was it at?
Joe Squared.
Okay. Like
On
Mount Vernon?
North Avenue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. That's cool. How much did you guys raise?
A few hundred.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, we got a good database of people that support our stuff. So we'd love to do a fundraiser because we're always running on E.
Yeah, I mean, my service, anytime you need, like, if you just have something where you need entertainment or whatever, I have a pretty good stand-up set, and Mickey's seems always willing to come out, so we'd be happy to do that. Or we could set up our own, whatever you want to do.
Awesome.
Family owned and operated, Ritchie Automotive is your one-stop for all vehicle repair needs. Ritchie Automotive's goal is to provide the best service at affordable prices to get you back on the road in no time. Need more proof that they're the best? Check out their exceptional customer testimonials at RitchieAuto.com. Ritchie Automotive, 410-761-4600 to schedule your next appointment. Ritchie Automotive, 410-761-4600, or visit them online, RitchieAuto.com.
Hi, my name is John Mangione, Administrator of Lorraine Health. My grandfather founded Lorraine Health Systems over 3 decades ago with the promise of taking care of your loved ones. And that's a promise I continue to honor today.
Now, did you come with Mickey from '98 or?
No, I'd never done radio in my life until a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, I had a pretty popular, relatively on a local level podcast that I did for years, and that kind of ended about a year ago. So, yeah, he just knew, I was open to working on stuff, and just asked me if I wanted to be a part of it.
What was the podcast about?
Mostly a comedy interview thing. Basically just like comedians interviewing other comedians or other local people. We ended up getting a couple big names on. We got like Pat Oswalt, Tom Arnold, a few other kind of, celebrity comedians or whatever.
Does that boost your listeners up?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I
like-
want to get your number because, listen, I've been thinking about podcasts and I know nothing about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just I would love to talk to somebody that's done it
Sure.
for a while and maybe just pick your brain.
Yeah, sure. I have to admit, I'm not that great with the technical stuff. Like, the other guy on it did all of that with the old one, and for this new one that I'm working on, I'm just paying somebody because I don't want to have to figure it all out.
Yeah.
So
It's like a sound technician?
Yeah.
That's what I was told you needed. A sound tech.
I mean, it depends. If you're good with computers, then yeah, I'm terrible with all that stuff. So I'd rather just pay somebody else. I could
How much do you pay 'em?
We haven't really settled on a price per se. It hasn't. We've got like almost 5 episodes bagged, but I've just kind of been paying them like a little bit as we go. Like, thanks for doing this. Here's
Right.
we haven't I guess once, because there is like a whole lot of work that kind of goes up front just to get it all organized, and then once that's over with, you can kind of just release episodes, and I'll probably just pay them by episode. Like a lot of the work comes from just launching it,
How are you getting listeners? Promoting it yourself?
Well, this one is weird because it comes from a blog, or not even a blog. Like, I basically created a blog on another podcast's page that got popular. Like, I didn't mean for it to, but it became this thing where basically people confess things about themselves or tell stories about themselves type of thing. And it's a different subject each time. And we got so many responses that I thought, like, well, we could turn this into a podcast and discuss, read people's confessions with their permission. Some of them want to be anonymous, and then get a guest on and discuss whatever the topic is. And so that's what we do. So for this, hopefully we already have a built-in audience because we've been.
Rob, I'm sorry, we're working on this. No, you have time. I just don't mean to be so aloof.
Oh, you're
from
fine.
you.
You're fine. We were having a good conversation.
Yeah. No, Mike's a great guy.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll have a built-in audience with this one because people like the writing so much. Like, now that I haven't been doing it, they're like, what's going on? Where is it?
Right.
And I'm like, well, we're turning it into a podcast. So we got people all over the world that'll hopefully tune into it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Did you monetize it?
I mean, it's not. Hopefully we can get a sponsor.
Yeah.
We'll have to see, though. I mean, maybe it won't do anything. So.
Was the comedy one monetized?
No.
Just for fun?
Yeah, it was getting to that point where it probably could be at some point.
I just thought of something. I'm sorry.
That's
You
okay.
know how my brain works. I just interrupt everyone.
Sorry, man.
We should do a City Fan comedy night.
He was saying
Yeah,
this.
that's what
He
we
was just
were
saying a
discussing
fundraiser. I
that.
love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and you know, like, Andrew would do that in a second.
Oh, yeah?
In a second, as
Okay.
long as, you know, there's enough notice and enough people that we think we could get motivated to be there. And,
We got a good database.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
Yeah.
still a decent promoter.
yeah, no, you're really good for
People, and well, you got the radio, and
Yeah.
obviously you got a huge following, and you know you got a following. So yeah, you let me know.
You know, another thing, Rob, you and I should get together and talk because, you know, I have that depression support group. And I'd imagine a lot of people
Yeah.
that
Oh,
are
yeah.
coming through and starting to,
It's freaking hard.
Yeah.
And you get sober.
oh my God.
Yeah, that's
dude.
what
Because
happened to me. I was
you've been
so
numbing the
depressed.
pain and
Yeah.
escaping reality for so long that
You
when you
gotta
come
feel
out of
it
it and you
all.
got to feel it. Oh my God.
It's hard enough to just
I
get
went through
sober, but like all the other emotions. you
Imagine
have to
never
it.
getting fucked up and always living with it.
Right.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, here we are. Wait a minute, I might have one more. Yeah, we're good. We got one more.
Okay.
Let me grab a coffee. I'll be
Sure.
right back.
Yeah. So I'd like to talk to you about that.
Sure. The last one, we kind of like, we really just started from the basement and took years to build up. Like, it was literally me and my buddy, like, making stupid jokes. We didn't even know, like, what the format was going to be in the beginning. We just get together every week and just, like, at first we were writing little bits and stuff, and then it just kind of became an interview thing. And then, like, once we got the big names, we obviously stuck to that format.
How many people did you have listening?
You know, I really don't know towards the end. But once we started getting like Patton Oswalt and stuff, I mean, obviously that was probably our biggest episode, maybe the Tom Arnold one. But you know, it started with like just a few hundred, and then you know, I don't know exactly where it peaked at.
That's awesome, though. For me, it's just like it's about. I just want to.
Stuff
What Greek is that?
Oh, it's this guy Brian Darudian, this Persian.
Oh, he's Persian?
He's yeah.
Tell him assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. What else is on here? Melanie, what's up?
Hi.
You can't turn those speakers up by any chance in here, can you? So people on Facebook Live can hear it? No? It's okay if not. Oh, sorry.
You know, as much as I love this song, I hate it, Mike. And if you're from Baltimore, you know why.
What's up, Dave?
I bet you don't. It's probably before you.
Family.
We are family.
We are family.
Why does Mickey not like this song?
Should we make a contest out of this?
I think most people would know right away because it's
Really?
their reason too. For real, bro.
Was this like the official anthem of the Browns leaving?
Nope. But you're on the right track. You're definitely on the right track. I'll tell you what it was. It was the theme song for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 1979 World Series.
Okay.
So I cannot even see this without it, or hear this song without making me think of that.
Right.
And of course we lost.
It's a long time ago.
Kent the Colt. Shut us.
When was the last time the Orioles won the World Series?
1983.
Came close in the mid-90s.
79. That's the last time we've been to a World Series was 83 and we won it.
Really?
Yeah, and then we had the dark years. And they're getting darker
Are
again.
we out of the dark
Well, I
ages
think the
yet?
bulbs are starting to dim.
Okay.
But I still, you know what? I have faith.
We had a good team in the mid-90s for a while. Though.
We did. And we have a good team now. They're just not winning. Their pitching's letting us down and whatever.
You remember that kid got us out of the World Series?
Don't bring that kid up again. Every year in New York, every year in New York, they like throw some parade for that kid.
Really?
I can't stand
Let's
it.
get him on the show.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, joining us in the studio, Rob Kowalski, and we've been talking, if you've been paying attention. Wonderful group called City Fam, and what they do is they help people just live, help people get on track to live a healthier lifestyle in many ways, whether it's drugs, alcohol, sexual, what's that word?
Deviation.
Yeah,
Deviance.
That's just as good as any.
Promiscuity.
Promiscuity, thank you. But you know there is a toll to be paid for people over years, and Rob paid that toll.
Yeah.
Got himself together, has a wonderful group. They're going to be helping the Hartford House, which I love. I've done things for, and they're going to do it July 22nd. Rob, how can people get involved for this event particularly?
They can just go to the cityfam.com website. I forget if it's 10 or 15, but there's some open spots if they wanted to just go to the website, and it's 3 or 4 hours. I think it's 4 hours total, and then we usually get together and have everybody enjoys a free lunch on us, shares success stories and wins and all that.
You buy everybody lunch for volunteers?
Usually a restaurant will donate the food to us.
That's great.
Yeah,
so
so
I'm like, wow.
shout out to Mo's Seafood, and shout out to Tamara Morris, our service director, for lining it all up, and Amanda Phillips, who was trying to be here today, in case you're listening.
Amanda?
Amanda's from Hartford County. She's the team lead
Okay.
for the Hartford House.
She couldn't make it today?
She couldn't make it, no.
Really? What'd she have to start doing?
A job.
Job? All right, I'll give it up. Fair enough. We'd still love to have Amanda in anytime. Well, Rob, I got to tell you, man, it's interesting to talk to you every time we do. You and I have had many discussions at great length about different things, such as religion, addiction, all of that stuff. And you're a fascinating guy to talk to. You know, I've often said there's nothing I hate more than a drug addict. But there's also nothing I respect more than a recovering one.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Or is
absolutely.
that an oxymoron?
No, not at all.
I mean, you get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's two different worlds.
They're two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
100%.
Yeah. And so I've always said that. Look, I have my own issues. You know, I don't even get it. Like how people like me sometimes. You know, I got so many problems. But I think your story is an amazing story, Rob. And whenever I can help you, I will. I mean, I do. And I think this City Fam thing is. The more I learn about it, the more I'm impressed with it. And it's. I always like when someone takes a concept and modernizes it and puts a twist on it. And you're not a preachy organization, and you're just a help organization. And not only are you helping those that are getting involved with you, but you're teaching them how to help others that need it. And I love that. You know, I don't think people do enough of that.
Yeah.
Thank
I've
you.
given everything away I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
I just give it away. I don't care about things like that. I'm not a very materialist. It's to a fault. You know, I get behind on bills because I get stuff on like whatever. But I do know that helping people, other people, makes me feel amazing.
Me too.
Absolutely.
It's great, Rob, and you know, in a lot of ways, you could say you were very selfish for many, many years.
And I still am.
And self-indulgent, yeah, but
That's why I do it.
you're almost now a healthy
You were
selfish, though.
self-destructive before.
Yeah.
Now you're selfish.
Yeah. I mean, I just found another way to make myself feel good.
Making your life happy and worth living. That's selfishness. Then selfishness isn't a bad thing.
Right.
Agreed.
Self-destructiveness is the bad kind of selfishness.
Yeah, and some people have. I think at one time you had both.
Yeah.
You were self-destructive and selfish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's where the problems come. But listen, Rob, what you got going on is not only is it impressive, like I said, I think it's kind of the future of where charities are going. It's you know, you hear a lot of talk, especially in urban settings, about farm to table and
Right.
with food and keeping things local. And there's nothing more local than your friends.
Right.
Nothing will be closer to you than your friends and family.
Yeah.
And when you make those friends and family healthy people, we all make mistakes. We all piss off friends and family.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, like a guy like Rob and what his organization City Fam is doing is allowing people that have made mistakes or do need help to come on board
Right.
and join something positive. So kudos, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thanks for
For
having
real.
me on.
It's
That.
inspiring.
Anytime. And the other thing that I think is really telling about your story said, I think somebody that's struggling right now, or somebody that's sitting here listening to this and going, well, whatever, I don't, you know, I don't need friends. You know, I don't need to go help others to feel good about myself, whatever. Like, eventually they'll get it.
Right.
And then it'll be a conversation like this that their first recall is. Like, you know, I think you hit me then, I just didn't know it. Yeah, plant the seed. And so July 22nd, everybody go to cityfam.com. That's cityfam.com. And Rob, congratulations, man. It's a green door here. You're a green light, open door, anytime.
Thank you.
You got events coming up. Keep us posted. Even if you can't make it in, I'll put it out there for you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll get together. We should do a big comedy show and raise money for depression.
I would love that.
Do it for the Together We Got This group, and yeah, I mean, I think that what you're doing is great. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times people get clean and sober and they realize, wow, I drank and smoked a lot of this problem away. I got to deal with it now.
Exactly.
You went through it, Mike.
Oh, absolutely.
You said something interesting off there. You said you spend so much time masking it that when you get sober, you got to feel it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's
It's hard
crazy.
enough to just not drink, but then you got to feel all those feelings that you were covering up before.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, every day of my life I think about stuff like that. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, Rob, thank you so much, man. Like I said, anytime you got something coming up, let's stay in touch and let's keep you a part of the show.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Rob
Appreciate it.
Kowalski, cityfam.com, and I appreciate him coming up. Here's some Rod Stewart. It's Q1370, 99.9 FM in Harford County, Bel Air, White Marsh, Perry Hall, and hey, Middle River.
Hey, Middle River. So, Mickey, why do you think you've never kind of dealt with your problems with drinking and getting high?
Why didn't I ever mask him?
Yeah.
I'll tell you exact reason why. And it's simple as shit, and it's true. And it goes to guys like Rob, and I'm not pointing at him about this, but guys in that situation. I was always so self-aware of people that were so fucked up that I would say, all right, I'm not getting to that point. If I got to feel like shit, and that's the outcome, stumbling all over the place, can't talk, fucking,
Like
40 girl. I mean, it sounds great, but here's a guy that I can't even imagine what you chalked up in your life. When you think back on it as a guy, there's a part of you that's like, yeah, but there's a part of you that's got to just be torn apart by it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm grateful that I made it out, but
Right.
there's a lot of people that don't make it out, and the punchline is like Charlie Sheen. You look at him, and
That's the ultimate guy.
he's the punchline.
Not only is he the punchline,
that's the end.
Here's the part that kills me about addicts that I get angry with. Okay, you're an addict, I get that, but you have the same brain and the same intellect as you do as you're clean and sober. And there's no way in the world you're going to tell me that when you're clean and sober, you believe that what you're doing is right. That's why you get clean and sober.
Yeah.
So what drives me crazy is the debauchery, the sheer level of self-hatred that it must take to allow yourself to get to that.
I don't know, man. For me, I wasn't in denial over, yeah, I would be like, yeah, what I did was crazy. I can't believe I did that. Or, why was I... But I would always convince myself, but I'll do better next time.
Absolutely.
Oh, no,
I'm going to
100%.
start slowing down.
Listen,
100%.
don't think I don't understand addiction and get it. What I mean is this. When I've heard people say things like, so what, I slept with 100 girls, who cares? I know you do. I know you do care. And honestly, that's got to build, as much as you think it would build your self-esteem up and make you the man, it's got to rip you apart. Because once you realize the difference between sex and love and passion and just debauchery, it's debilitating. And it always made me crazy that you couldn't just, even during your addiction, say, I'm sick of this. This doesn't feel right.
Well, truth be told, I might be in the midst of that type of addiction right now.
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? But here's the
Which
difference.
one?
I don't.
Even though it's been a very slow year,
but I don't think that what you're doing is the same.
I definitely don't use women. I
You
don't
can go
lie
home
to
tonight
them.
and not have to get laid.
Yeah, easily. And
Right.
in the last year, I've had like no libido. So, and,
Right, and that's what I mean. There's a giant difference
Right.
between that. Like, I have friends that they skip a night.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're gay or something. Like, they have to self, what happened? I didn't get laid last night. Or
No, I've never. I mean, I've been grateful for like any like action that I get. You know, like.
Well, I also think, like, I've never understood drug addiction. Simply because all of my idols were drug addicts, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them.
Yeah, me too.
Richard Pryor.
Me too, except for Henry Rollins.
Right. I
Maybe
can't think of
guy.
like one straight edge person that I was ever like. Well, Kiss. Both of those guys were
Gene
totally.
and Paul.
Gene and Paul were clean.
Well,
and sober.
Paul wasn't completely clean, but he was like.
He didn't do
pretty
drugs.
moderate.
I don't think. I think he
No,
drank.
he did coke back in the day.
He did.
Yeah, he had like a Coke spoon on his like uniform for a while.
I think that was image.
Yeah, but no, he definitely did a little.
Okay.
Like they have stories.
Well,
where he got
the
too
point I'm
messed up.
making, it's like Pryor, Carlin, Mike Ness from Social Distortion.
Yeah, just total.
Right. I mean, just total debauchery.
Right.
So why wouldn't I have followed that? And I think it was because the art and the craft stood out to me more
Right.
than the celebrity. And hearing them talk about them being fucked up.
Right.
Although it was funny.
Right.
And in Mike Ness's case, like when he writes about it, it's compelling.
Right.
It was never fun.
See, I'll tell you. When I like got into those bands, I always thought it was like kind of a bummer that they were like such.